I think the obvious answer is going to be the OJEU process. I think most people would say that's the one thing they'd like to change, look at a more cost-effective way that's going to make it slightly more autonomous, going to speed up the decision-making process for the officers and the members of the scheme and the committees. But as I say, I think that's the obvious one. I think one that I'd like to see some work done on is the use of derivatives as well. I think there needs some clarity within the investment regulations around how derivatives can be used by local government pension schemes. I think there's a general acceptance that they can be used for currency hedging and the risk management in currency hedging, but there's other forms of risk management that they might also be used for. They might be used for inflation hedging, interest rate hedging, longevity hedging. And I think the way the regulations are currently written puts some schemes off looking at them in that way and using them directly in that way. And so perhaps they're missing out on what is maybe the most effective way of managing those risks. So I think a review of the investment regulations with a specific focus on the use of derivatives. Yeah, Aviva investors like coming to this summit because it's two main reasons. Clearly it promotes us, it promotes what we're doing, it gives us an opportunity to talk to members, to councillors, to officers about the work we do, particularly in fixed income and property. So it's a good promotional positions place, a good place for that. But secondly, it's also a way of us, we manage assets of about 25 local government schemes, so it's a good way of sort of demonstrating our commitment to this sector, of seeing some familiar faces, of seeing some new faces. So really it's about promoting ourselves, but also promoting the work that we do with local government schemes. Yeah, changes to investment strategy and what's going to happen. I think it's really the answer that most fund managers are looking for, and I think I'm going to flip the question. I think what's important is understanding the drivers of investment strategy, and that will lead to then what the investment strategy is going to be. I think by March next year we'll have the new benefit regulations in place. Schemes will be going through the latest valuations, and they're really going to be the two key drivers of what schemes are doing in terms of their income requirements, in terms of their growth returns they're looking for, and in terms of the risk management processes they want to adopt. And I think if asset managers such as ourselves can understand what those drivers are, where they're coming from, then we'll be in a much better place to provide the right solutions. So the most influential people over the last 12 months, I think, are those who've been on both sides of the conversation on the new benefit regulations, both on the government side and the trade unions and the GLA, and the work that they've done in actually making sure that the new proposal going through is one that protects the interests of the existing members in the scheme, but it also makes it an attractive scheme for new members coming in. So I think a lot of work has gone into that since the Hutton report came out, and the work that's gone into that to look after that scheme and look after the members has been very impressive. I think for the next 12 months, who's going to be influential? It's going to be a similar group of people. We're out now for the formal review of those benefit regulations, and I think if they can hold their ground, make sure that that scheme stays in place in the way they've proposed it and not lose any ground on those arguments, then I think they'll be doing a very good job.